Sunday night, June 5th, our first totally free day that we've had so far. So I woke up, I went to bed last night, like I told you, at 4:30, and I woke up at like 9:30 just because jet lag. I'm trying to fight it as best I can. So after that I went and I attempted to make some onigiri, but I couldn't get the rice just right, and I didn't have any vinegar or anything for my hands, so I got frustrated with it, and I just I just made a big plate of rice and seaweed and just a bunch of stuff and just mixed it all together, because I started the day with about $15 worth of yen, and I had to stretch that for the day, so I just had like a really big breakfast around 11, which it held me for a long while. So me and my friend Paul, we went and we took the train to Sannomiya and walked around, just checked out some shops. It was a lot of fun. I was trying to find a watch, and I ran into a couple culture notes I'm going to go ahead and present today. The first thing that I realized is that Japanese people all have a lot more money than you do in America, because the per capita income is just really good, and so if you're going to a shopping district like Sannomiya and you're trying to find a watch, you're going to find Rolexes and Omegas. I mean, you're going to spend $100 on a watch. You're going to spend $100 on anything if you want to buy something at a mall type area. So I'm going to have to walk around and find just a thrift store and try and buy a really way cheap watch. Second culture note is that everyone walks on the left side of the sidewalk, which I can get used to the cars being on the left side of the road and having to look right when I cross the street, and I mean that's fine, but my body keeps wanting to pull me over to the right hand side of walkways, so hopefully I'll get over that sooner or later. Walked all around Sannomiya, and when we got back to the train station, I didn't realize that we were 2 stations farther down on the line than we were, because we had walked a long ways. And the way the trains, the JR system works in Japan, is that when you go in, you put money into a machine. There's a big list up on the ceiling of all the different stations, and so from where you are, it has the prices listed. So it's $1.60 for us to take this train from the Kaikan to Sannomiya. And from where we were at the legit Kobe station, and so it was $1.70, 170 yen. So you pay the money and it gives you a ticket, and then you put the ticket in the machine, you go in, you take the train, and then you put your ticket into the machine again. And so we accidentally paid $1.60, but it was $1.70 from Kobe. So we had to poke around and figure out how to get those fares adjusted, and I asked some Japanese people. So I don't know, it was pretty good, just tackling these problems, getting me used to living on my own in Japan. It's been really good. We also tackled Pachinko, which was definitely something on my to-do list for going to Japan. And so Pachinko, if you don't know, it's like the game Plinko on Price is Right, plus pinball, plus slots. You pay money and you get all these little metal balls. There's a little crank, and you turn the crank and it adjusts the force in which the balls are shot out of the top. There's really absolutely no skill involved, which is what I found out, because you turn the crank and you hold it at a point where you feel good about where the balls are going, and then they go up to the top, they bounce down, and you're trying to get it into this little area, and then once it gets into the little area, then a slot machine starts rolling, and then if you get the slot machine right, then you get to win some balls. And the people around me were getting it really well, and I had bought $10 worth of balls, and I asked them hey, what are you doing that's different from what I'm doing, because you're pretty good at it. And the difference between what I was doing and what they were doing is that they were running on an initial investment of $1,000 worth of balls. They were oh yeah, we're using we spent 100,000 yen. So forget that. But apparently, yeah, if you have a good initial investment, you can actually win a lot of stuff with this game. But I really didn't understand it at first, and it was pretty frustrating, but I don't know, it was a lot of fun.